All right, the late night happy hour is back on a Monday. JVT is here. What's up, John? How are you?
Doing good, dude. I got ready for the show. Still got a couple things left for tomorrow's show to get done, but I'll do that in the morning. And we made food earlier, so it was a success.
That's right. You know, we got to close out with some tips on your tikka masala, but that'll come up at the end of the show. So remind you to remind. I don't know, whatever. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. I have no idea what happens in this video. I assume it's not a Karen. I'm just happy, and we are going to show Karens later. I'm just happy it's a woman, not screaming, not attacking, not throwing something, not being all anti-mask. So we got a minivan. We got a gas station. This is Vegas. Do we know this?
So I've seen a lot on this. I saw a lot that people were saying this is Vegas. I don't know that, but I know there's a lot of claims or people are claiming that this is in Las Vegas. I have no idea.
What's up, Brady? How are you? Sean says, oh, my God, this was epic. All right, Sean, it better be epic. It better be epic. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Pretty good.
I was driving home when I saw it pop up, and I choose not to pull an Adam Hill and watch a video the entire way. So here we go.
Wasn't it Chrissy who watched Netflix while she drove?
Did she say that?
I remember we were out at Olive Garden one time, and she was telling us how, like, I don't know if it made her feel comfortable or whatever it was, but she would have an earbud in, and she would have, like, Netflix on while she was driving.
Ari says, Pecos. CJ Cards fan. This was amazing.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
She already did this once. She just drove. Okay.
So she knows that.
She's trying to find her gas pump.
This is the
or whatever, gas tank.
You can't figure out what side of the car the tank is on, which, can be confusing sometimes. Even when you've had a car forever, you get confused. Is that true or not? Or am I a moron if I get confused?
I even my car, I've had my car, I think, like 6 years now. Every once in a while, I'll have to look down at the gas gauge, be like, oh, okay, it's on this side. If you have a busy day, whatever it is.
Right now, do you instantly, what side?
Left.
Ooh, good job. Mine's on the right, but I did have to think about it.
So she should now drive to the.
By the way, I've done this before where I've pulled up and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not even on the right side. Now, in the old days, I'll tell you, I don't know what it was, but I remember people dragging the freaking hose across the trunk. You would see that often. Oh, yeah, with giant boat cars. Oh, yeah. People didn't give a shit in the old days. Back in my day.
So that it's on the driver's side. The tank is on the driver's side.
The same side as her, right?
Yes.
All right, so she's going to go.
But she pulled a circle last time.
Let's see where she goes.
So you turn left. You turn left. And you
all right, let's go right. Okay, keep going. Go. What the?
Yeah. No, she had it.
What is she doing?
If she would have. No.
Well, she's going to back up and just go back to the same pump. You know what I mean? She's going to, but it's just the opposite side now.
Would have had.
And look at the backup skills. She going to make it? Nope. She's got to pull back again. Son of a bitch. Frustrating.
By the way, that doesn't appear to be a Nevada plate, but I'm also blind.
She knows. She has to know. She just saw that it's not on the passenger side.
But here's the best part.
Okay.
Does she get out and she's like, son of a bitch?
Watch.
Pulled up again on the wrong side.
That guy.
Hang on.
Good driving.
So again, gas tank's on the driver's side.
Hang on. Is she gonna realize it?
Watch.
She see it?
What? She walked right by her own.
She walks right by it. So this is, I'll say this. This is the moment. This is very good, but this is the moment where I think this is fake. Like, how do you not notice your tank when you're walking by it? Like, that's your objective. How do you not notice at least walking by it? I can understand doing this again. I don't understand walking by the tank and not seeing it.
She walks right past the gas tank.
Okay, she tried to play it cool there. I don't know why she looked back at the tank or back at the pump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You think that's fake? I thought that looked totally genuine. That she's like, God Almighty, how did I do this again?
Yeah, I don't know. I think really, because to be honest, what threw me off about that too is like she looks. I don't know. Her reaction is more looking at the pump as opposed to like it's like she almost remembers like, oh yeah, I have to react because I'm not on the right side. I don't know. I'm also very pessimistic when it comes to funny social media videos in general. TikTok has ruined me, and everything is fake on TikTok. There's nothing genuine on TikTok. And when I see things like this, I really do think that it's fake. Which, by the way, this is a good point too. The first time I watched this video, again, I have bad eyesight. I did my contacts on. I was like, what's wrong with her face? Like, what's going on with her face?
Yeah.
Like, there's something weird about it. And then I realized she has a bandana on. And so, like, yeah, that was her mask. But yes, she does have a mask on. Very good.
Are you just grabbing pumps willy-nilly? Or do you towel up? Do you grab a towel before you grab the actual pump?
No. So what I've been doing, my strategy has been I've been using this for doors in public places too, is use as few fingers as possible. And so like for like 7-Eleven, or if I have to go in for some reason, I'll grab it with my pinky, and I'll pull it like that.
That's it.
Or like, yeah.
Oh, pinky has the Rona.
Right. Or like, with the gas pump, they're a little heavier, burlier. I'll use these 3 fingers, And
This man's in a committed relationship, Brady. Let's not do fingers.
That's been my strategy. It's use as few fingers as possible, and then sanitize and wash afterwards.
Just waiting for you to look up. You just nailed it again.
That's what she said.
Right. All right. 3rd time's the charm.
So now she's got it.
Does she look back? I'm just trying to see if it's a work.
She has to.
So which one is she going to pull into? She'll pull around.
Now here's the disaster. There's a car behind her, and like I'd whip to the right and then just reverse across where I think it's a Beamer or a Lincoln or something. You just go right there. Oh, that would be the wrong side. See, that'd be the right side.
To
the other side.
Yeah, she'll go to the other side.
Or even this over
yeah,
here.
she could back up. She could back up and get into it.
What's she gonna do?
Okay.
Just leave.
Right. Just quit at this point.
Pulling around. Okay.
She went the wrong way again.
Okay.
This is unbelievable.
Right. Unbelievable. Like it didn't happen.
No, go right there. Go to the left. She's good. She's good. Go to the No!
Oh,
No!
She did it again. There's no way.
No, she's pulling. Oh, this girl. Oh,
she's backing up. Maybe she did notice.
No, she's getting out of the car. She's getting out of the car. Again? Oh my.
No. So this is interesting because do you have the rest of the video?
I do not. No.
So there's a longer version of the video where she actually does it one more time. And what I thought about was fake about it was the people who are recording, and maybe this is either fake or this is also, if it's not fake, this is, I think, in my mind, very pushy and maybe somewhat judgmental. They get out of the car at one point, the people filming, tell her how to do it. It's like right after that moment that you stop the video right there. Yeah, so the lady tells her, you're on this. So essentially telling her, we've been watching you this whole time. And then when she finally gets it after like 2 more attempts, the guy who's filming then gets out of the car to go tell her congratulations. And that's where the video that I saw stopped.
So what do you think?
Generally, I think it's fake.
Real or fake, everybody?
But I also think that, let's say it's not fake, like that's very, is that the right word, pushy? That's very weird to get out and congratulate her. Like, hey, we've been watching you for the last 5 minutes. I know you're probably extremely embarrassed, but congratulations, kiddo. You're not as big an idiot as we thought. You finally got it.
Sports guy saying, who sits at a gas station, gives play-by-play. This is lame, fake.
It's very
Razorback Scoop, fake. Gil the Thrill, fake.
I think it's fake.
And everyone, not everyone, but we're getting multiple responses.
Yeah, I saw somebody say it was Henderson, like in Wigwam and Pecos.
Wigwam and Pecos, which I'm trying to get my bearings on Henderson. I don't know. I was going to name a bunch of food places there, but I'm getting old. I forget. Your Lana 3 says, I think it's real. It's hard for some people.
It is hard for some people. There was somebody, I can't remember where I saw it on social media, but maybe it was an article written about this. But that people at gas stations, like I have said before, like they see this more often than you think during the day. Like this will happen multiple times in a day where people, can't figure out the gas tank thing. But they also pointed out that like they'll only mix it up like once or twice. Not, I think this girl did it a total of 4 times,
right?
Which is a lot.
It's pretty bad. I feel like a war is brewing. Did Brady ask earlier to get her on? Yes. Yeah. Can Ari find this woman? Then Ari's fishing for money. because $700 wasn't enough the last time around. And Brady fittingly,
Always had faith.
well, no, he just
Oh, Steven Adams. Dude, by the way, so yesterday or Sunday? When was the last time? Because this happened to me for the first time in a long time when I was out driving yesterday, which, by the way, the wind was insane. That was crazy. I lost my sense of direction. I went to a gas station that I had never been at before.
now listen to this.
Real quick. A gas station that I'd never.
I'm gonna mute that. I'm trying Twitch tonight. So
Okay.
So go ahead. I just wanted to get the address. Okay, keep going. You lost your bearing.
Well, yeah, I lost my sense of direction. Like, I had no idea which direction was north, south, east, or west, and that really freaked me out. Like, I didn't like it at all. It was the first time that it happened in years.
Why did it matter?
I don't know. Like, it's just I always had I don't know. Like, I did not feel comfortable not knowing what direction north was. It was really weird. And then after like about 5 minutes, it hit me where everything was, and it all came flooding into me. You know, my minuscule position on this massive Earth and universe. But I just felt better. But I don't know, it really freaked me out not knowing which direction was north, south, east, or west. I was on the north side, by the way. I was heading down to the trusty Alamo Casino.
The Alamo Casino.
Or south side, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have a comment? Not on the actual Twitch video that's running right now, but like what Twitch is and if you watch? Do you, John?
I'll watch it here and there. I usually watch it. I know it's got different uses. I will every once in a while watch it to, as the kids say, watch people play video games. But that's very few and far between. I'm not on it frequently.
All right. Well, we're gonna try it. See if we can build an audience there. I'm not an expert on that one either. I'm not an expert on anything, but we're trying different things. So tonight we're on my Facebook page, my Twitter page, my Twitch page, my YouTube page. How about that?
Got a Twitch page. It's pretty cool. Is it called the Twitch page, though? Like, is that the lingo?
I don't know. I'm on the Cofield Radio Twitch app. Twitch. I don't know. I don't know what Twitch is.
I think it's cool. Like I skew a little bit younger, but I like for example, if there's a video game that comes out and I'm not sure if I want to buy it, I'll go watch other people play it for like 30 minutes. Be like, oh, okay, maybe it's worth it, or maybe it's not.
Did you? I guess we could just get into this now. How did you decide to make tikka masala tonight? Did you follow someone's recipe? I would probably go to YouTube and watch someone do it. I pretty much everything I can't do, which is pretty much everything, I go to YouTube and try to find a tutorial.
Yeah, I like. You ever gone to Tasty?
No, what is that?
So Tasty's a website, and they do a whole bunch of you'll see it on Instagram or Twitter. I don't know about your Twitch page, but it'll pop up, and it's it's full on recipes, but they cut it down so you can watch somebody cook an entire thing in like 45 seconds to 90 seconds. And so the wife and I really like Indian food, and we've been on a kick with the cuisine, trying different Indian spots, and I've been trying to cook more recently at home, and the whole pandemic thing going on. And so one of the other days I was going through Tasty again. I like to watch the recipe videos, and one of them was for the tikka masala. And I was like, that's insanely easy. Let me try this out. I adjusted a couple things. I added a few, I added potatoes in, diced up a couple potatoes, the onions, a couple of other things to add. I used thigh meat instead of breast meat. Just little things like that. I tried it out, and it turned out pretty well. The issue for me was we like spicy food. And so whenever we go out, we're like level 7 in that range. Just little things like that. It was flavorful, but turned out not twice. It was flavorful, but not spicy. And so I want to know how I can make it spicier. Other than that, I think it was a success. Thought it tasted pretty good.
In the chat room, best spices. Any idea? For Indian food especially, because I think you got to be careful with what you're throwing in there.
Yeah, that's the thing too. The flavor's got to be right. People were telling me, which is true, I could have added the chili flakes they usually put on pizza. But it's not it'll make it spicier, but it's not the flavor profile you're looking for. I know there's a couple of spices that pair well with Indian food that I can use to make it spicier, certain peppers that I can put in there as it cooks to make it a little bit spicier. I'm totally down. Dude, the crock pots are awesome too, by the way. I feel like I'm frowned upon for using a crock pot.
You are frowned upon. McKinnell has come in being all snooty, and he's basically said, I think he's suggesting crock pot food is just crap and it's lazy.
Well, I mean, I guess lazy or intuitive. I think I don't have to wash many dishes. Just throw a whole bunch of stuff in a pot and then let it cook. I think it's awesome. I love crock pots. What's an Instapot? Is that a thing?
Yeah, the Instapot is. I think you can do some crock, but I think the Instapot's mostly. I think I have one. Is mostly what's it called? Why am I blanking? A freaking steamer.
Air fryer.
I have an air fryer.
Okay.
Yeah. Brady's saying
Instapot.
that's the 2020 crock pot. Where was the question earlier?
Oh, those things. Okay.
Yeah. I could probably give mine to you. I don't really use it much. I think it was like $50-$60. So
You know what I really want?
here's your pay for doing the late night happy hour. Use Instapot. That was the terminology I was looking for. Razorback. My God, I'm getting old. Steamer. That's what it does because you get the
pressure cooker.
It doesn't have the old school freaking thing tapping on the top, but it's a pressure cooker, and it does cook really well. I think I did some basic pasta with sauce and meatballs, and like 18 minutes, it's all done.
Ooh, okay, I like it. Now, part of the so one of the things, so I do like to cook a lot. Like I like to cook and I like to experiment. But one of the things with this new, well, I shouldn't say new. We've lived here for a year and a half now. This apartment that we're in has an electric stove, and I don't enjoy using electric stoves to cook things. I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like a flame is a better cooking. It's evenly heated, all that kind of stuff. I prefer, the classics. So I don't like to cook too much, which is why, one, I use a crock pot. The other reason is I have a kid, and sometimes it's easier to just throw a whole bunch of shit in a pot and, move on with my day.
So do we miss Adam Hill at all?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to him for a while. Oh, I also want a tandoori oven, but that's a whole other thing.
How elaborate is that?
I don't know. I mean, they're pretty big. It's what you use to cook the naan bread with. So, it's it's better, but I don't know. I don't.
Is that what you need to start making naan bread?
Yeah, I want to start making naan bread with my. Actually, my next attempt is going to be vindaloo. I love vindaloo. That's my thing. Tikka masala is Isabel's thing, but I really like vindaloo. It's pretty good.
Do you order Indian a lot?
Not a lot. I'd say maybe once a month.
All right.
Yeah.
Someone was asking earlier, do we have a preference where people watch? Not really. We're kind of experimenting right now. It seems like the best way to comment is through Twitter/Periscope. I have to figure out a way to get my page to allow Facebook comments. I've watched Twitter or Twitch videos with another radio host, and their chat area is actually really cool.
Really?
But right now, because I don't have the page up, I wouldn't know if anyone's chatting, and I'm not sure there's more than one person watching. So right now, it's for the chat ability, it's Twitter. But I think the more locations we do, we'll be able to. That'll be fun, won't it? There's 5 different. They would all feed. I guess maybe they. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Where do I want to go here? Oh, so I was asking about Adam. So Adam said he was basically cordoned off from all of Mexico. I never looked up what's going on in Mexico. How is Mexico with coronavirus right now?
It's not going well, man.
I don't think it is. I don't know why I chuckled, but I don't think it's going well.
It's today was nearly 4,000 new cases and nearly 500 deaths, and that was today. And they're, from what I can understand, I think it was. I didn't see that figure. That's nuts too. 49.4% is ridiculously high. Yeah, it's not going well. And today was a really bad day for them. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better because they're opening back up, but it doesn't seem like they're slowing down. At least Mexico City, I should say. I'm not sure about all of Mexico, obviously.
My God, we're gonna all be banning each other. I think is the European ban in place for us yet? I think it's coming.
In terms of Europe banning us?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I know it's coming. I read it was coming. I'm not sure if it's official, but I know that it's. I think they're on the verge of doing it.
Well, how can't they? Right? They beat it. Freaking Italy was just crushing us. Was tragic. The death rate was I think a high of 14% at one point.
Oh,
and they're just about done with it.
The videos of that was one of at the beginning of all this. The one thing that really kind of put that really kind of shook me and made me really worried were the videos of the Italian hospitals. That was nuts, man.
Yep.
All
right. With the screaming. All right, we got some Karens coming up. You ready? This is the tail end of North Hollywood Karen at a Trader Joe's. Did you see this lady?
I've seen them all.
Yeah. Let's just get the end of it in, because we have to examine all these Karens. And the other thing we have to examine with these Karen explosions, real? Are we now looking at crisis actors? Are we looking at agitators? We're actually seeing these allegations around some of these new Karen videos. So, California's been hardcore. They're locking things down again. You got to wear a mask. You got to wear a mask when you go in these places. And some people aren't adjusting well. This was the tail end of this woman being escorted out of the North Hollywood Trader Joe's.
I have a breathing problem. My doctor would not let me wear a mask. So anyone harassing me to wear a mask, you guys are violating federal law. You get that? Get that on camera.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What do we think? First of all, real or fake? Because I saw a lot of accusations that it's fake. Then I saw her name. It was something like Sandrella. I don't know what the last name was, but everyone found her address, where she worked. So if she's an actress, I think she was an esthetician at a place called Dr. Laser. Has anyone seen a follow-up on this? Has the place bumped her out? What's the deal? Real or fake? John, what's your take?
Can it be both? That's my take. Because from what I read and from what I understand, she, I think, sounded like wanted to make a scene. She was walking around the store without anything in her basket. She was getting in people's faces. She was trying to get them to say something about not wearing a mask. She wore one outside, and then when she walked in, she took it off. So it sounds like she wanted to purposely make a scene to spread her message. Like, that's the question. I don't understand why you would want to do something like this. I do love the line, I have a breathing problem. My doctor won't let me wear a mask. So then I can breathe in this air and potentially catch a respiratory virus. But I didn't really understand that whole logic.
Yep. Oh, we're hearing it all the time. I'll take the risk, but goddamn, a mask will kill me.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the first things I thought of, you're right. You're right. I think she's 43. You're going to have some saggage, but nice size rack as we objectify every woman that we put on the show. Real nice. Hey, Ari, I sent you an invite. If you have a phone, just pop on video right now. I don't want to read the follow-up. I want you to tell us about the follow-up. All right? I also read that this woman supposedly called a different Trader Joe's in the area and then went to the wrong one, which seems weird. That she got approval. She got approval not to wear a mask at a different Trader Joe's and then went to the wrong one. She didn't go to the one that she called.
Purposely or accidentally? I mean, today, how can you go to the wrong one? I don't know. I say that, and sometimes my mom can't figure out how to open the app for VSiN, even though I put it on her home screen. So I guess you could do that on accident. Yeah. See, that's what Brady's saying is what I read, is that she was waiting outside for a while with the mask on. The second she got in, it was off, empty basket, and just walk around. Like when she originally gets kicked out, she's got nothing in her basket that she's holding. So I think people thought that she was in there just to start ruffling some feathers, call them these moronic Democrats and whatever else she called them before she got kicked out.
Did she go? She went political on it?
Yeah, she was like, these Democrats trying to make me wear my mask.
Seems higher than she was, but it's okay.
That's very true.
Clearly not the same lady from the gas station. Correct, everyone?
The one that is the gas station the lady got slapped?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, the gas station we just watched with the lady struggling with the pump.
Oh, that one, yeah. No,
yeah, I think she appeared to be much younger, much smaller up top, and could actually wear a half shirt. Right. I don't think that this woman, Sandrella, could wear the half shirt. She had a little chub roll, but both look fine to me. Both look fine to me. All right. I'll as I reference all the time in the air, I'll take a chance here. If it loads, looks like it's taking forever. Ari sent the link. Let's see what happens. We got to listen to the ad first. All right. We'll see if we can do this. This is what happens in the studio with the Commodore 64.
Yeah, Brady brings a good point, by the way. The lady at the gas station was wearing a mask outside.
That's a good point. Imagine. She was... All right.
She's dedicated to the safety of you and me and others. And if it's true, she's a Las Vegan, even more proud. Thank God.
She's telling her side of the story. Our Amy Powell has more on her message.
Democratic pigs! All of you! That man harassed me for not wearing a mask. I have
His
a
voice is
breathing
pretty high.
problem.
The video has been viewed thousands of times online. A woman swearing and yelling inside a Trader Joe's store. She says her angry tirade started in response to a customer who was harassing her because she wasn't wearing a mask.
Right away, he started using obscenities at me, giving me, saying F you. I don't want to repeat it. F you, the C word, wear your effing mask. All of this.
The woman, who asked us not to use her name, says she called a Trader Joe's store in Toluca Lake and was given permission by the manager to come in and shop without a facial covering. But she claims she mistakenly went to North Hollywood.
Yeah, I got that right. She fucked it up. She called Toluca Lake and went to North Hollywood. Dumbass.
Did she even?
By the way,
call
Ari's
them?
here. Why would she admit to making the mistake?
Well, I think she's trying to cover her tracks. She doesn't want her name to be used. She's trying any way possible to make herself look better. You know, half the time when you watch these videos too, there is the great moment where the people realize they're being filmed, and you can see their face drop. You can see the reaction of, "Oh shit!"
She didn't care. Yeah, she didn't care. She said, "I hope you get this on film. My rights are being violated."
Right, but I'm saying after the fact, where a lot of the times when you act out of anger or insanity, and then you have a chance to look back and go, "Yeah, wow, it probably looks pretty bad in there. I might even believe my message still, but I really flipped out."
So it's weird. She went on camera. She didn't give her name, but her name is all over the internet. If I remember from my memory, is it's Sandrella Zakarian, which, by the way, I read like 3 times 48 hours ago, and I remember that, but I can't remember fucking where I was today. All right, let's play the rest of the video.
Where another manager told her she would make an exception, allowing her to buy groceries without a mask on that day only. The confrontation happened when she started shopping.
And I did what any normal human being, a woman, would do if she was being harassed by a man, not knowing if he's a crazy man. So I start yelling in self-defense.
So anyone harassing me to wear a mask, you guys are violating federal law.
So she yelling at a man right now? Is she yelling at the original guy? What is she talking about?
Yeah, I have no idea. That was
Beautiful.
a little weird.
By the way, beautiful news placement where she's like, "Oh, it was a man, so I started yelling." Yeah, everyone behind the camera, I don't know for sure, but the people who start walking around are women. So now you're yelling at the women there.
Right.
Get that on camera.
The woman says she does not regret what she said during the encounter.
Unlike whatever lies they're putting out there, I had no political agenda. I had nothing, okay? They might use whatever else I said later in my anger. It doesn't matter. What happened to me should not be happening to anyone else.
The woman declined to give any details about her medical conditions. We did reach out to Trader Joe's about this story. We are awaiting a response. In North Hollywood, Amy Powell, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Beautiful, Amy. Beautiful. All right, with the ads. Enough.
I love this shit.
All right, Ari.
Shouldn't happen to anybody.
Ari is our resident eternal lockdowner. He gets so pissed off. He doesn't get to voice his opinions on the air all the time. He gets so pissed off. He hates people. He hates anti-maskers. If Ari could go ballistic, go postal, if Ari was a gun guy, anti-maskers would be in a lot of trouble.
I don't know if any of that was really necessary or true.
It's true.
It's true. No, yeah, I just think the mask thing's stupid. And yeah, everything, the story, I was just pretty much everything that you guys just said in the video was what I was going to say anyway. That happened. But yeah, I don't know. How hard is this? It's really not that hard. I just don't get it. Maybe my day is that much easier, but the mask thing, I just don't get the outrage. It's just insane to me.
It's a violation of their rights. They can't breathe. We have a lot of people here with respiratory issues. And by the way, Adam Hill was pointing out last week, wear the face shield then. Wear the face shield, the plastic face shield that drops down. You can't breathe with a face shield on. But people, they don't want to go. They just want to piss and moan and be nonconformist and start fights.
Of course. It's the way it's working. And when the people in the highest, up at the highest levels, or some of the highest levels, are echoing the same sentiment to a certain extent, you're going to probably listen to it. You're going to buy into it, that this is a violation of my rights, despite the fact that really it's almost like a common courtesy of just helping out your fellow human being. And, it takes 2 seconds. I was out on Sunday running errands, and there was twice that I would go into an establishment, open the door, and it would hit me, and I have to run back to the car, grab the mask, and go back in. But it's not that big of a deal, man. There were two.
I did it today at work both times. I had to go in multiple times to the station. I'm like, crap, I forgot my mask. I grab it off and it's a rule at work, but grab it off the front seat, put the mask on. Is it that big a deal?
Right. Or two places I went to yesterday, check my temperature, before I walked in. Like those kind of things, like it takes 2 seconds, man. It's cordial. All right, thanks. I'm in. See you later. I really don't understand it either, Ari, because I think it's just, I don't know, man. It's funny because I was laughing while she was talking because, one, she's like, people want to make it political. You made it political yourself when you started screaming at all of them that they were Democratic pigs. And I love the Mac that they can use whatever I said out of anger to whatever means they want. Like, yes, you said it. I don't know. People like this, I don't think they make much sense. And to Steve's point, maybe they just like being angry, or I have no idea. This lady's, I don't know. Is this legal?
Oh, this is the other one. Oh, God.
Yeah, this is the one that keeps. I think there's already eggs on the ground, bananas on the ground. Yeah,
Can you get in legal trouble for this?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Justin later in the week. It's like meats, throwing it,
destruction of property.
I don't give a fuck about journalists. You dumbass motherfucker.
What would you do? Would you just watch? Would you film? What would you do if you charged her with your card and just rammed her?
Right.
Like, what would happen?
I would think nothing. I would think you would not get in trouble. I mean, she's clearly like to the mind.
I wouldn't do it as a male. I would goad the SO into doing it and be like, sorry, female got mad at the female.
Or just take the cart.
That too. That would be great. That was the gangster move of this whole thing with the idiot at the Costco here in town when they let the guy shop. Fatso's got his whole cart full.
Oh, that was here too?
Yeah, that was here. That was at a Costco town. And the manager was like, well, sorry, your stuff's
really
gone.
Taking my cart? You're taking all my stuff?
He was so hopeless. He at that point and helpless. He was just like, like Ari said, you're taking my cart. What's he gonna do? Go running after and fight for his stuff? Look like a bigger fat ass?
I'm not wearing it because what is it? Because I woke up in a free country. Well, yeah, I would take this cart. I think that's the power move, is take the cart. Which, by the way, she does the cliche here in this video, which I love, when people are really mad and when they drop the line, I don't give a fuck. Like, you clearly do. Like, you're flipping out to the point where you're throwing groceries all over the place. Clearly, this triggers you to some extent. Why? Again, I have no idea.
So what does this mean? Like, if both had masks on, they took it off, so that they were putting on a show, or it was fake, like, then why would the first woman do a follow-up interview? Is that part of the whole fake act that she got? Then she got to voice her opinion again. By the way, not very composed either in the interview.
No.
I mean, look, I personally think, like I said, like, you go in to make a scene, you go in to deliver your message, for lack of a better term, and then you realize how much you freak out and you have to do damage control. Like, I think that's what that first lady was doing. Like, clearly that video is everywhere. You're watching yourself freak out. You have to do some sort of damage control. She did it in the way that she thought was the best way. Don't tell them my name. I don't regret it. They were harassing me. Like, she even said it. She clearly, I mean, the video at least depicts that she lied when she said she was getting harassed by a male, but then she was surrounded by 3 female workers before she got kicked out. Like, I think she's just doing damage control. See, and this lady too, she just wants the attention. That's why you're throwing things one at a time. Like, it's funny. I saw this on a Reddit stream or a Reddit thread, and somebody brought up a great point. It was like, if you really wanted to make a big impact, flip the whole cart over. But you want people watching you. You want to throw things out one at a time so people can get out their their cameras and film this. And I think that's the purpose.
And you want to do just enough so that you're not necessarily arrested, or but maybe you just get escorted out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Call the police.
Call the police.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, I give these employees a lot of credit because, man, I don't know that I could just stand there watching someone disrespect me like that, and it's what they're doing, because she doesn't care that someone's got to clean that up. You really have to be a low life to do that,
dude. Retail workers are treated like shit. They were treated like shit well before the pandemic. Now I have no idea how they would how I would handle it, because I hated being in retail. and working at Starbucks and service industry, because people were the absolute worst part about it. The absolute worst part about it. And you're treated like garbage just doing your job. And again, that was before all of this, before this whole thing got politicized. And so again, somebody is making their money trying to do their job, and they're getting treated like shit because, you know, a corporate somebody somewhere, right, told them you have to do this. And they have no say in it. It's ridiculous.
Ari with a nod. Awesome stuff.
I mean, he said it. That's pretty much. I don't get it.
Last Karen to show. And then a couple of comments. Actually, we had some comments on this one. All right. If you're going to throw one food item to make a scene, what food do you reach for?
Oh, I think that's pretty easy, right? Like, it's the cake in the bakery section, because the top is so flimsy it'll break. It'll cause a big mess. It's big. Or frozen peas if you can throw it with enough force that they open.
What about a giant fucking glass jar of mayo?
Ooh.
Do they make them in glass jars anymore, though?
They all plastic?
Yeah, I think they're all plastic now.
Aaron's have ruined things.
my generation. That was my generation. You're welcome.
Hey, millennials again. You and your freaking safety nonsense.
Eggs are good too.
Ari, what do you reach for?
What am I throwing?
Yeah.
I was thinking about eggs. I think frozen stuff's cool, because then if they don't get to it quick enough, then it just, it starts melting everywhere. Maybe some ice cream.
Ooh, ice cream's good.
Yeah.
Milk jugs.
Yep.
Those break pretty easy. Single milk jug can cause a lot of damage.
Okay.
Hopefully no Karens are watching this getting ideas.
Oh, well, they don't need our help.
No, they're an army in and of itself.
This is our most violent lot. I told you, first time the road started getting crowded about 3 weeks ago after we reopened, I was driving home one night and I looked in my rearview mirror and someone was kind of riding me, and it was a white woman, like 60 years old, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I'm getting the hell out of here. I just made a quick right and got out of her way.
She's gonna follow you.
Yes.
Film you.
Scary, man. All right, here's the final Karen of the night. We could do this every night. Jesus, it's getting crazy.
Oh,
this is in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
How bad is it?
Her oddly buff arms.
Yeah, look at that.
Serious.
Are we looking at a protest across the street? Is that what?
Yeah.
That's
So this is a counter protest and then a protest across the way, I believe.
By the way, I like the frozen pizza idea, but I just feel like it would be a Frisbee and it wouldn't have... I mean, you could throw it far.
You could. Which, by the way, so Gil brought up the carton of eggs. For the first time ever, I bought the big-ass thing of eggs. You know what I mean? Like the stacked on top of each other eggs. Very good investment. Very good investment.
Yeah, I bought a 24-pack of eggs from Costco, and we're really having trouble getting through it. I'm just using eggs for nonsense purposes now. I made a 2-egg sandwich today, and I was like, this is too much egg. What am I doing? Idiot. Okay, so it's no justice, no peace chant.
Yeah.
Why are you mad? No justice, no peace. It's like, ugh, drives me crazy.
Let her go. Let her go.
Fuck you! We're gonna give you no peace!
What does that mean?
Nice, good freeze frame.
Oh, you're right though.
You know,
did she have surgery? Look, I mean, I don't think
her
I
arms are weird. Yeah.
What's going on there?
Unless you're catching her in like the most pristine moments where her muscles are flexing and her arms are oddly buffed.
This is hilarious.
Bitch! You fucking bitch! You live off of white people!
There it is.
I mean, look at the outfit she's got on.
Right.
How much is this outfit? You live off white people. Her hair is shit. This is I don't know. This is Lane Bryant nonsense. Which my aunt used to wear this. This outfit here can't be more than $30.
No,
she's like, I'm part of the elite. You live off me. What?
Which it's also safe to say too. Every single person sitting next to her, and this shouldn't have to be said, they're part of the problem too. So if you watch this video and you go, it's just one person, it's not, because the guy next to her heard that and didn't bat an eye and more than likely agrees and didn't do
Is there
anything.
the guy with the camo hat who didn't serve,
Right?
And then he had like a USA shirt. But is he carrying? What is that? What's he got on over her left shoulder?
Yeah, he's got something strapped across his chest. Who knows?
Waterstown, Pennsylvania. I think that's what it was.
That or it's
You fucking communists! Fuck off! Keep your HIV over there!
My God. Keep your HIV over there. How many cocks has that lady chugged in her lifetime? Come on.
How many was she related to?
Get out of here.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Will the president retweet that tomorrow?
Well, he doesn't watch his videos with sound on, Ari. So maybe he's watching it and he thinks
he needs to be more careful after the white power old guy over the weekend.
Well, you saw the explanation for that, right?
I did.
No, what was it?
I think it was Ben Shapiro was like, look, it's very obvious that he retweeted it and he wasn't watching it with sound on. Like that was it.
I do that, but I'm not the president of the United States of America, so it's okay.
It was great because Shapiro even says in the bit, he's like, it's not like our president sits there and just reads tomes of, who was the leader of the British during World War II, whose name escapes me, Winston Churchill. It's not like he reads tomes of Winston Churchill in his off time. He doesn't even read his daily briefings. I'm like, what are we talking about here? So you're really making the case that he's so incompetent that he can't be racist. It was absolutely great. But yes, he was watching the video, didn't have sound on. So that's why he retweeted that. So Ari, get over it.
I guess so.
Ari, get over it.
Unreal.
It's just one person, Ari. Just one person.
No big deal.
America's fine.
The top comment under it was something like, well, if you called me a Nazi, then I could totally say white power back, jokingly. Obviously it's not serious. He's just responding or something stupid like that.
By the way, Brady brings up a great point. That's like a Kohl's/Kmart outfit that she was wearing. Cool. The sleeveless polo is a dead giveaway that it's like Walmart and under. You won't catch sleeveless polos at like Old Navy. To me, Old Navy's like the stepping stone into like good department stores. It's like that midway point.
Good.
All right, that was a good arm flap. Yes, I don't know. It was a weirdly shaped arm, like John said.
Yeah.
She appeared to have a bicep, so I don't get it. She's got bigger biceps than I do, but then she's got flab underneath.
She had Dwight Howard like delts. Her deltoids were massive.
What? Come on now. What'd you, John? We didn't get your take. Your full take. We got some of it on the gambling spot today, but just from a football standpoint, Patriots, Cam Newton.
Oh, I like it, man. And if I swear to God, if I hear one more time about the stupid 0-8 in his last 8 starts, like, you got to stop with that. He wasn't healthy at all. And you can also throw back that in his preview, like, it's funny, right? To me, whenever I hear sample size arguments like that, you always have to ask the question, why is the sample size that size, right? Because if you go to the 8 games before that, he was 6-2 before he went to that Pittsburgh Steelers game and got injured. He was absolutely incredible. 21 total touchdowns, only 5 turnovers. The Panthers were at the top of their division. They looked great. And then he got injured. So, like, to me, Cam Newton is, and I've said this on the show way back, and I'm sure you don't remember by now, I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League. Like, when fully healthy, he's a top 10 quarterback. And the New England Patriots got him for absolutely nothing. Yep. And by the way, if what I read was correct, if they lose him, they get the 3rd-round pick back that they lost in the cheating scandal. Yep. So, like, this is absolutely 100 million% the perfect move for the New England Patriots. It's fantastic. There's no lose in it whatsoever. None.
John, who do you think is the highest paid sports broadcaster from a commentary standpoint that you never put in your show? Like, you never put his takes in your show. You never react off of what he says. So I'm talking about, Max and Stephen A make a ton of money. Shannon makes a ton. Nick Wright makes a ton of money. Mike Greenberg. Can you think of someone who makes a lot of money and you're like, I never, ever react to anything they say, retweet them. They're never material to bounce off of a co-host. Because I got one for you here. And it's, I just noticed I never use his stuff, but I saw something today. It was kind of, I was trying to figure out what he was saying.
By the way, my thought initially would be any like the Golick, Greenberg, that kind of stuff. Bayless, God damn it.
Yeah.
She finally got desperate changes.
Like I 100% think now, based on what we consume and the opinions that we react to, that Shannon is that show.
Oh yeah, 100%. And Shannon, the good thing about what Shannon Sharp has done, like Skip Bayless is a character, but Skip Bayless is a character to the point where it's kind of despicable. Shannon Sharp is a character, but he's a character that you can relate to, who's funny and who still is somewhat grounded in his opinions. Like the memes of him going Skip, like all those kind of things.
Yeah,
Henny, right. The Henny, all of that stuff. It's stuff that's relatable and things you can get behind. What Bayless does is just like it's just one. It's way over the top to the point it's not believable. And the other part of it, some of it's kind of just, I guess, gross is kind of the right term. Like you just don't really like what he's doing.
Like this one, I think he was trying to come up with something to shit on Belichick for signing Cam Newton,
right.
And was, dude, he said Belichick finally got desperate, came to his senses, realized his team's in danger of missing the playoffs, and he finally signed Cam. Bill, you gave Tom a 4 months head start over Cam. What took you so long? This is one of the weakest attempts to try to rip a guy because the counter is, hey, Skip, the time that he waited allowed him to land Cam Newton for nothing.
Right.
There's no way he loses out of this. And by the way, Tom doesn't have a 4 month head start from a calendar standpoint. Relax. Doesn't have that much of a head start. But all the waiting him out and kind of forcing him to the very last minute, he got the guy for nothing.
Right. And it's not like to the point of the head start, like think about the climate that we're in right now. It's not like Tom Brady's living at Tampa Bay Buccaneers headquarters, right? And getting teamwork, getting work in with the new team. So it's not
trying.
like, right, he's been trying, but it's not like it's that much of a head start. But so you kind of hit it on the head. This is just an attempt where he's got to be Skip Bayless. Like he has to be Skip Bayless for this moment, but there's nothing he can really put out there that would criticize Belichick enough because you can't make the argument. You can't.
Hey, Ari, I'm going to let you go, okay? I appreciate you popping on.
Anytime. You guys have a good night.
All right. Thank you. I was going to be mean and say something stupid, so I showed self-control there. So pat me on the back. I was going to be a smart ass about something. Who knows what, but it was going to be something. All right, Skip. So we both like the move.
Yep. I love it.
Why is he being paid so little?
So
this is kind of amazing.
It is. And I'll say this, because I know there's a lot of ties being made to what's going on in our country, right? And I think this is the one instance where
wait. Did anyone try to come over the top and say, don't worry about what he's getting paid because we're in a pandemic?
No. I mean, from the sense of, because obviously there's a big movement towards obviously equal treatment for minorities, and especially when it comes to everything, right? And when it comes to places of business and being paid the same as Caucasian counterparts and whatnot. And so his deals were being made, thrown up against, right, the likes of a Nick Foles or Chase Daniel, things like that. And he's got, me, he's got the resume of one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. Again, I think he's a top 10 guy when he's fully healthy. But I think the health thing is what held him back from getting money, not so much being Cam Newton, right? The whole thing where he couldn't get any medical evaluations, things of that nature. He couldn't go visit offices. Yes, you could theoretically go out and pay him, but the process of going out and signing him for a deal that was going to pay him a good amount of money and not knowing if he is fully healthy, I think is what held him back in this.
All right, so you see this tweet right here from Adam Lefkoe about Chase Daniel. You mentioned him. He's being paid more than Jameis and Cam combined. What was wrong with Jameis?
I don't think people got over the 30 interceptions.
All right.
We've talked about this before.
Why is at the base level, why is Taysom Hill making more than Jameis and Cam Newton combined?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea why he's making so much money.
When you start thinking about it, you're like, what's going on here?
Right.
$8 million a year for a guy who is essentially Antoine Randall L., who we both think has, I know Adam doesn't like him. Do you think Taysom Hill has a chance to be the quarterback for the Saints?
God, no.
Yeah.
That's why Jameis is there. That's exactly why Jameis Winston is there. Look, you're talking to me. I think Jameis Winston was worth the money. I think the Patriots should have signed Jameis Winston. instead of Cam Newton, right? But just because I think Jameis Winston has that potential.
Now that we know the money, I definitely would have taken Jameis. We know he's going to be healthy.
Right. And with that arm talent, he's ridiculous. So, like, yeah, I think they're both deserving of their money. With Cam, it's health. And for some reason, I think Jameis, people in media, and I don't know if NFL circles is true, you can't get over 30 interceptions for some reason, even though there's also, with those 30 interceptions, 33 touchdowns and over 5,000 yards in today's National Football League.
Let's listen to what Adam Schefter said about the market for Cam Newton.
And the truth of the matter is that Cam Newton did not have any other offers from any other teams. There was nobody that was calling him and lighting up his phone, trying to recruit him to a certain city. There was one other team that did have one conversation with him. It was very brief. It didn't go very far. But the Cleveland Browns did speak to Cam Newton at one point in time, but those talks never really went anywhere. They did with New England, and Cam winds up on a one-year contract with the Patriots, which makes all the sense in the world. And the truth of the matter is that Cam Newton did not have any other.
It's repeating itself now. That was it, Browns. That was it. That was the only other team that. It's incredible, especially teams that have. Well, I don't think Jax is interested that much in winning. Right. There are a lot of good teams that have terrible situations at backup quarterback, but I guess the flip side of that is at least he's got upside, so he can make $7.5 million, and he is going to play with one of the great coaches in the history of the NFL.
Yep, and 2 points to that. One, you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year, you were 8-5, despite the fact that Ben Roethlisberger only played 2 games. You had Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. You lost your last 3 games. You finished 8-8 outside of the postseason. How you don't either go get Winston or Cam Newton is beyond me, considering the health of Ben Roethlisberger and the fact that he hasn't been in that lineup. So I thought that was absolutely nuts. And the other thing is just to not get a single sniff. Cam Newton is ridiculous because he would have upgraded so many other rooms. And you can put him in situations where it wouldn't even matter. Right? Like in a situation like Jacksonville, obviously there's going to be clamoring for him because he's clearly the best quarterback on the roster. A situation like Chicago, he's clearly the best quarterback on the roster. Same thing with the Chargers. But like the Seattle Seahawks, like Geno Smith, I think is their primary backup at this point. To have Cam Newton behind him for a year on an incentive-laden deal or something like this, that'd be great.
Brady, not a Schefter fan. Well, you got to try the podcast. Maybe you'll get used to the cadence.
Sounds like
that was a 35-second clip. Yeah, CJ Cards fan nails it. It's a good deal for Cam, and it's not a much better deal would be getting $25 million a year with a $40 million bonus. But yeah, if it works out with the Patriots, then he can make bank next season. By the way, Chase Daniel, someone was asking earlier, Pro Martini Maker. I didn't even realize this. Chase Daniel moved to the Lions, where he got a 3-year, $13.05 million deal. Only $225 is guaranteed, but still. He can sit there for the next 3 years, depending on who the quarterback is, as long as Stafford stays somewhat healthy, which he had issues last year. But he can make $13 million for holding a clipboard for the next 3 years.
Yep, it's nuts, dude. He's made a career as a backup, and he has thrown a total of. I'm looking this up right now. How many attempts do you think Chase Daniel has in his career? What would you guess, ballpark?
Oh, career? I guess I'll go over. I don't know, 800,
218.
Oops. What was the biggest year?
His biggest year, let's see, he played in 5 games for Kansas City, started 1, he threw 38 that year.
Oh my God.
That was 2013.
Do you have much money he's made in his career?
How much?
No, I was asking you. I'm doing the addition real quickly. Let's see. It's pretty good. Already at 16 million. 17, 22. With this, if he completes his contract, he'll have made $35 million, and he's got 200 and what passes attempted?
218. Oh,
Jesus. That's sick. All right, what do we do with Cam betting? I actually do want to bet the Patriots. You only think it's going to go as low as 17-1. I think it's going to go a little lower for Super Bowl.
Like what? Like 15?
Maybe down to 12. If they get off to a good start, I think there's going to be a ton of money coming in.
Oh well, yeah. If they get off to a good start, when you ask me how low it gets, I just think about it from the perspective of the offseason. Like, yeah, if they get off to a 3-0 start, then of course it's going to drop.
But you think there's a chance that they get off to a slow start and you could actually get more value beyond 20-1.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, look, it's not the best offseason, and Belichick, from a coaching standpoint, is the best coach in the National Football League. But the weapons are lacking. It's a weird offseason, right? And the New England Patriots, out of all years, are the closest to their division than they've been. They're still ahead of it, but they are the closest to the division that they've been. And I'd say, like 10, 15 years, something like that. So it'll be tough. Like these AFC East games, they're going to win a majority of them, but it's not going to be these blowouts and easy wins that they've been in the past. Like these are going to be some tough games for them. And a couple have been here and there, right? Bills games. Bills, I think, was it last year or the year before, where they only won by 7. Obviously we know what happened last year in Miami. So there's those spots here and there, but I would just say overall, I would sit back and just wait and like a 2-2 start or something like that, get something in the range of 25-1.
All right. Open to the season. Home Dolphins, at Seahawks, home Raiders, at Chiefs. Next two after that, back-to-back home games, Broncos, Niners. So let me read it again. Dolphins at home, Seahawks on the road. Is that 4 of 6 at home to start? Yeah, 4 of 6 to start at home. So Dolphins, Seahawks, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos, Niners.
Right.
They go like 4-2.
That could be 4, but that could be 4-2. That could be 2-4. The Broncos are expected to be a lot better. They added a lot defensively, man. Like not only is Chubb going to be healthy again, but you have Jarrell Casey's added in the front 7. Boye is now over there as well. Like they added a lot of pieces defensively, so they could be better. A lot of people think Drew Lock is the guy, and we'll see about that. But they could be better. Chiefs, you don't have to say that much, right? Seahawks, you don't have to say that much. And then you're kind of on even footing with the rest of the other opponents. You're obviously better than the Raiders, but by how much, right? And so those are not like gimme games. So 3-3 is, I think, realistic. 4-2 could happen. 2-4 too. But like if they're starting 3-3 or 2-4, that's when you can get some value, and you're not out of that division by any stretch at 2-4.
How much of a difference do you think he makes to the point spread? I was trying to think ahead to the Raiders at the Patriots game and what the number will be.
So this is the cool thing. We've talked about this before. There's a thought that a quarterback is worth something to a point spread. And like, I think in a situation like this, he could be like, if the Patriots are supposed to be like, favored, let's say by a field goal, maybe it's 3.5 now. But a value of a quarterback is only as valuable to a point spread as his backup, right? So like a situation, I'm trying to think of some of the quarterbacks that aren't worth that much because the backup situation is pretty good. Like Russell Wilson's worth a lot to the point spread because his backup's not good. You see what I'm saying? So like things like that, like that's where you're not going to see much of a drop off when there's not that much of a drop off between the two quarterbacks, and you'll see more value in that perspective. And that's only like a 1-game deal, and then it adjusts, like it gets pretty tight right after that.
We talked about this on Cofield and Company, but we should mention it that Superbook USA dropped Cam's MVP number to 40-1 from 300, and the guys over there admitted that before they could get it off the app, the phone app, someone did bet Cam at 300-1 for $100. That'll win him $30,000.
It's a good number. I don't think he's going to win it, but you'd rather have 3.
It is a good number. Yes, it is.
Right. You'd rather have it at 300.
Oh my God. Over under. This is in faraway places. Global odds. Over under 8.5 starts for Cam Newton. 8.5 starts. Over under.
I mean, given we're gonna have a full season, I'd go over.
I was thinking that too. I wonder what the rules are. If it's a shortened season.
All right. If it's full, if you're guaranteeing me 16 games over 17 weeks, then yes, over.
Sean says over. And he's definitely going to win the job, right?
I would say there's like a 90% chance. 85.
All right.
Like,
yeah.
No, I was just going to say, like, obviously the big wild card is his health and how healthy he is. And I think like Michael Lombardi brought it up on our network. I think it's a relatively good point, is that, there is a chance that the Patriots do like Stidham still, and obviously Cam Newton's on the market, and you'd like to update your quarterback room and see how it's going if you can get him for dirt cheap, right? So they're actually paying. I had to look that up. Like Brian Hoyer's making like a decent amount of money as well in New England. So I think like it could just be a situation. Oh, never mind. 1 year, 1.05. I was thinking about the Colts deal that they gave him, but regardless, like they could still like both of them. But I still think that like the leader in the clubhouse is Cam Newton. The talent just gives him the edge regardless.
This is not a real thing, right? Cam signing decimated the football card market. Cards plummeting. That's not real, is it?
No, I don't think so. I have not seen that, though.
Who follows the card market at this point? Maybe Brady does, or maybe
100% a real thing. I don't.
Ready to the top. All right. Hey, Ari, pop back on. We need info. I'm kidding. Was that bad to boot him?
No. I mean, I don't know.
He was sitting there and the stream it was slowing down, trying to bring stuff up.
Right.
All right. In the chat room and for John, baseball today. So no Ryan Zimmerman. He's out. He bailed out. His teammate Joe Ross said, I'm out. We'll get to Ian Desmond because this one has a lot of meaning behind it. And the first guy of the day was Mike Leake. Said he's out. All pointing, well, at least two of the three were pointing to family concerns. I didn't even see what Ross was saying. Ross has also had a terrible injury history. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Zimmerman backing out? Because I explained it away pretty easily. And if people want to get on him about it, they can get on him. But he had a $15 million opt-in or option, but it was a club option. They turned him down. He was going to make $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now prorated over 60 games. So
that's
listen, still good money. It's like $740,000. Still good money, right?
Yeah.
But you do realize, got it. You know what? I didn't get to look it up. He's 35. Do me a favor. Punch up Ryan Zimmerman's career hitting numbers. Like, what do you think of Ryan Zimmerman as a player? I feel like he had 5 good years, right?
Yeah.
And then some injury problems. And 2 years ago, I think it was, he got out of nowhere. He freaking took off, which you know how that works in baseball. I have no idea what was going on, but he had a big downturn. His career WAR. Oh my God, that is incredible. That's the number. All right, so I'd say he's had 8 good years, and 9 really. Okay, he's more accomplished than I thought.
Yeah.
Right, second in rookie of the year. 06, he was 20 and 110, 24 and 91 in the next year, 14 51, 33 106 homers and RBIs, 25 85, 12 49, 25 95, 26 79, and then out of nowhere after 4 down years, he hit 36 homers, had 108 ribbies,
right.
Was an all-star, hit 303 that year. So he's had how many home runs? 270, 1,000 ribbies. But the amazing thing is his WAR. No, what's his career WAR? Okay, his career WAR is 38.5, which we're looking at 14 full years. So basically like a 2.5 WAR per year. Now I read all those numbers for this reason. He was going to make $740,000 this year. Do you know what he's made in his career? Baseball is the best.
Oh,
he's at $139 million for his career.
Fantastic.
Why would you play?
Right.
I mean, that's not. I don't even have to mention my family. Just like I'm not playing. Well, I'm going to risk this bizarro non-bubble situation around baseball at 35. I'm not playing. I've made $139 million.
Right.
I'm out.
And what did Snell say on his stream? That ain't shit. Like I ain't doing that. Why would I? Yeah, I completely would. I 100% understand that. I'm going to sit out. I'll wait till next year. It's not like you need me for playing the field out there, right? I'm not the best plus defender in the world.
Amazing, $139 million. You know what? I wish luck to Kyler Murray. I hope it works out for him. But Jesus.
Oh, I did not understand that at all. If that was Diego, 100 every single day before he left at every moment possible. Baseball's better. Baseball's better.
From a young age, just instill it into him.
Baseball, no, football sucks. Baseball.
All right, 100%. How lit? First of all, people are going to be pissed about. If Zimmerman, I don't even know if he said it this way. I think he just said family concerns. But if Zimmerman came out and was like, I've made $140 million. I'm not paying for $740. Get out of here. People would be pissed, and I'm sure they were getting ripped even, when they bring up family reasons. How mad do you think people are going to be over Ian Desmond? And especially in Colorado, which sometimes can be less than tolerant. Did you see the reason? Did you see his letter?
Yeah, so I read a good chunk of it, and clearly the guy had a lot on his mind, but he tied it in, I thought, pretty well. It had a lot to do with the current climate of the world. It had a lot to do with his family and where he stands right now. And at the end of the day, he is not going to this is the thing that annoys me with people who are trying to take shots at him. He's going to pass on playing this season. He's going to spend time with his family, but he's also going to spend time bettering the lives of other people. for no reason other than just doing that.
I freaking loved that he used this as an opportunity, and maybe he's going to be, one of the leaders of change, and we're not really going to see the effects of any change around baseball and youth baseball for like 10 or 12 years if he has an impact. What he wrote, I think, is brilliant. Baseball, for some reason, is losing out on tons of good African-American candidates to play the sport. And to simply chalk it up like, well, baseball and basketball and football are just more popular. We just told you the reason. If you can play baseball at the major league level and you have an equal skill set to the NFL, why the hell would you ever play in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
You can play 20 years, 18 years, 12 years, leave baseball relatively healthy, mostly healthy, and make so much money. This is what Ian Desmond said, if people didn't see it, and it's up on the screen. But he says, think about it. Right now in baseball, we've got a labor war. We've got rampant individualism on the field, which I love. We haven't even delved into that, right? In the clubhouses, we got racist, sexist, homophobic jokes, and flat-out problems. We've got cheating. Ding, ding. We've got a minority issue from the top down. 1 African-American GM, 2 African-American managers, less than 8% black players, which may be an all-time low since obviously, the what would it be, late 50s, early 60s. I have to look back at the total percentage back in, 62, 63. No black majority team owners. Perhaps the most disheartening thing of all is a puzzling lack of focus on understanding how to change these numbers, a lack of focus on making baseball accessible, if I can speak, and possible for all kids, not just those who are privileged enough to afford it. That is brilliant. Baseball is an expensive sport now, and especially if you have to play travel, it is a pricey game. And I don't, you're younger than me, John, and maybe I was just unaware. Maybe my parents were spending thousands of dollars a year for me to freaking go out there and hit 240. But great glove. Why has it gotten so expensive?
I think it's just it's equipment and travel. I think those are the top 2 things, right? The latest, whether it's going to be bats, gloves, cleats, things like that. Like you need those things to play. And that's it. And I know club teams aren't cheap either. Like those are all sorts of things that phase out certain demographics. And like this is what I don't understand why people don't get this aspect of it. Because a lot of the pushback on his comments was, please, you're telling me baseball's not racist. And it's like, you're not understanding the point. I'm sure at a certain level, he probably faced some flat out racism from people that were involved in baseball, whether it be fans, whatever it is. But the point is that the way that baseball is set up and how expensive it is, you then phase out certain demographics who can't afford to play it. Sports like basketball, sports like football, sports like soccer, for the most part, you need a ball, and that's it, right? That's all you need. And you can work on your craft as a young child. You can play. You can get good at it. You can find a love for it, which is a big thing too, right? A passion for it and want to pursue it. I just remember I didn't play at like high-level club teams. I just remember in baseball, like I played baseball for a few years when I was a kid too. I loved it. But it's just, it cost money. You had to have bats. I would always borrow bats because I never had my own. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And there's a lot of kids who I'm sure want to play baseball, but just can't afford it. And that's what they mean when you see these numbers about the demographic and like few African Americans playing baseball, the system is set up so that black players can't get into the sport in general. So when you get all huffy about baseball's not racist, like, okay, to a certain extent, you're correct. But the way the system is set up, it works against minorities, which by the way is a microcosm of the entire thing. But that's another conversation for another day. And that's the issue with baseball. On top of the fact that the players who are, again, are majority white, and I think Ian brings this up in his piece too, are you do it my way. No flair, no energy, none of this. And the unwritten rules of baseball are essentially the unwhite rules of baseball or the white rules of baseball, right? And that's the other thing that holds it back. Because when you get good dynamic players, you don't let them be themselves, which is why basketball catches on with the youth, which is why football catches on with the youth. Because not only do you invest in the sport, but you can get invested in the players because of the way they play.
Yep. For lots of reasons, they've killed this generation that should be moving into Major League Baseball. They've killed it for the last 15 years.
Yep.
And lack of access is a big part of it. And the fact that as, black faces dwindle in the game, kids who would want a role model and idol, if they want, a person of color, there's just no one to really identify with. And here's the other thing. The sport has sucked balls for 20 years. at marketing at stars. They still don't know what they're doing.
Of course not.
Their white stars don't get that much attention. They're Latino stars. And then, as you pointed out, how many times have we had these incidents where it's like, too much flair. Oh, the Caribbean style. Who was the I can't remember. Who was a moron a couple of years ago who was, telling people, well, if I was going to teach kids, to watch how to play the game, I'd watch the Americans, not the Puerto Rican team. Like, shut up, asshole.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
Was that during the World? I would assume that's during the World Baseball Classic or something.
Yeah, World Baseball Classic, and it was a white. It was an American white. It's just
of course,
you don't have to play one way. You don't have to have certain respect. Believe me, there's no one more disrespectful and a bigger horse's ass. But I do like the fact that the guy's competitive. No one worse than Madison Bumgarner.
Of course,
the worst. Both ways. Like he's hey, play the game this way, and then he's like, fuck you, I'm going to play any way I want. I'm going to have flair because I'm going to get pissed off at people when they have any fun. So but I can have fun. I can pump the fist, stare people down. So, which many things broken in baseball.
Also, to the point of marketing your players, like a Mike Trout, for example, and not a lot of people really knowing who Mike Trout is, and that's on Major League Baseball. And Major League Baseball, in an attempt to improve that, did not market Mike Trout better. They actually went after him and told him, "Hey, you should put yourself out there more." That's the best part about baseball. Yeah, that's on you. Come on. And again, and this ties into what we're talking about here. Like, again, like with what's going on with this stoppage from Major League Baseball, how they continue to work in their own, get in their own way. This was another instance where they could have taken center stage. They could have been front and center. They could have had the only spotlight on them, right? They could have been, I think they could have, obviously, no, I know they could have been better than and bigger than what the UFC was doing. Like what the UFC has done, whether you agree with, everything that they've done from testing and how they're handling it, even if you disagree with that, you can't disagree with the fact that they have taken the spotlight and then just thrown it perfectly on themselves and gone, here's a bunch of cards, here's some good cards, and we're going to take advantage of this lull in sports to put our product out there. And Major League Baseball could have done that, but they tried to get the best out of their players, and it just didn't work.
And a good point. Brady doing the research. Man, he's quick. Good producer on this video. It was Ian Kinsler. I don't know why I forgot his name because I cannot stand Ian Kinsler. And down the stretch in his career, when people are like, all celebrating Ian Kinsler and good guy, had a good career, like, man, sorry, this takes him out of the mix for me. Because not only did he mention Puerto Rico as a country to not follow, if you want your kids to learn how to play the right way, he also mentioned the Dominican. So whatever. So old. I almost took this beat. I don't know if you saw this tweet. It was a response tweet to, I thought, a very nice letter. I just read it. I botched it, but a very nice letter. This was one of the responses, and I almost took the bait because, there's, like you said, there's been a lot of negative response to what Ian Desmond said. This one's dynamite, and I didn't realize his spawn is a complete scumbag who's been banned everywhere. But here's a guy named David Wall. His spawn is Jacob Wall, who literally has been banned from every social media platform. But in response to Ian, he said, America is opting in for baseball by Ian. And I almost responded back. I'm like, I ain't opting in. I am barely interested, old white. So you watch baseball, boomer, and the sport can die with you, 63-year-old, because I'm out. And I'm not that young. And I'm getting disinterested. I'm bored by the game. And I'm supposed to be in the demo.
Right. America is opting in for baseball. No, America is actually going to opt in for hockey and NBA postseason, while Major League Baseball, again, flounders by the wayside and maybe gets some of the dregs of the viewers because it's a regional sport now. By their own doing, by the way. Because of their own doing. But yeah, America's not opting in. They don't care. As much as all these people hate the NBA, like that's going to be the lead dog until the NFL comes back.
Oh, someone said earlier, well, no, when I read the Ian Desmond thing about cheaters, I had fired this up. A rhymes with, because someone was asking, can we name the Rocky who is cheating, or will Ian Desmond name the Rocky who is cheating? Who did a better job here? Was it CJ Cards fan with Roland Farinato? That is pretty good because I think I tried to do it and mine was weak. I don't even know did it even go through. I don't know what I had. Something stupid and cheesy. I'm an idiot. Yeah, and anyone who knows Jacob Wall and what he did on the internet and the scams he pulled, and pretty freaking gross. Pretty gross. Now, John Lynn says he'll stick with rugby over baseball. John, I don't know about that. I can bet baseball and I can do fantasy baseball, which will keep me somewhat interested.
You can bet rugby.
I don't know rugby well enough to bet. And I can't do fantasy rugby. Too old for it. Too old. All right, let's wrap with a couple of topics here. Let's see. Where do I go? One more thing on you when you said you went out earlier. How big were the places that gave you temperature checks?
Casinos.
Okay.
They were both casinos, Westgate and Red Rock.
On the noggin, or did you walk through?
It was just a little like laser one. So I just popped my head up and they just aimed a laser at my forehead and that was it.
Did you want to yell invasion of privacy?
No, you know what? Actually, it's funny. I was actually more curious. Like, it's kind of hot outside, and I just came in from out there. Like, you're gonna get like a false red here. Like, I'm kind of hot.
It's not the way it works at all because that first night that I went downtown on whatever it was on June 4th, and I walked in one place, and then my temperature, and I walked from. Well, I'll just tell you where it was. I walked from the D over to downtown Grand, and I like even that's a short walk. But I was all heated up, and I'm like, man, I wonder how hot this is going to be. And the guy's like, you're 95.9. I'm like, okay. I was like, do it again. There's no way I'm 95.9. So people, I put that out there, and they're like, I think you have hypothermia. I'm like, I don't think the thermometer is working.
We have our kids' thermometer that we, when I was a really like jumpy parent back when he was first born, I'd check his temperature like every other hour.
Right.
But so I would check mine, and mine's at like 96.3. I'm like, I feel like this is broken. Or maybe it only reads baby temperatures. I don't know.
Right. So very nice at home tonight. The SO went out to get some pizza. She brought home pizza. Do you think they did this on purpose? I have a picture of the pizza.
Okay.
I sent it off to one of the local TV stations. This is breaking news.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. It's getting a lot of attention right now.
Oh, you did not.
No, it's not me. Little Caesars in Ohio. All right.
No, this is ridiculous.
Either that's fake by the customer or did someone really come on, guys? Really? Did they send this out and they're like, oh, this will work out well?
Well,
like you're not getting away with a swastika on a pizza, you morons.
Right. And I would assume since they were fired, this is real. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what message. Like, I don't know what the thought was. Right. Like, all right. Like, well, yeah, of course. But besides that, like, that's worth losing your job over, I guess.
It's a hard job to come by. Pizza from I sold that. No, I didn't get pizza. Actually, I did. You know what I did get tonight? The SO went to California Pizza Kitchen, and I guess they have their own take and bake for $5. It's a medium pizza. I took it. I actually cooked it. Ready for this? Where do you think I cooked the pizza? Take and bake.
Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
How did that turn out?
It was good. I should have taken a picture of it because I think McMillan has he done pizza on the barbecue? I bought a pizza stone, so it's not like right on the grill.
Oh, okay.
And I made sure to. I don't think do you have a barbecue?
No, I don't. I live in an apartment.
All right, so they have the little temperature readout like on the lid, which is not accurate, but I got it to 450, and it was actually pretty good. I cooked it in like 4 minutes, so impressive.
We gotta try it.
Yeah, the oven's too hot in the house. By the way, my air conditioner went out over the weekend. Oh boy,
that sounds awful.
That's a scary proposition.
Our water went out. Water pipe burst this morning, so our water was off for like 12 hours. So that sucked.
How'd they fix it? And who fixed it?
No idea. All I know is that I kept trying it, and then one of the times I tried it tonight, my pipe went and then started spitting out water again.
Oh no. I realized the air conditioner was out on Saturday night around 7:00.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was fun. Trying to sleep in that.
Well, I mean, I would say that like luckily the last today wasn't too hot, but I don't know how you did Sunday with how windy it was. Like, did you keep everything shut? Because the wind was nuts on Sunday.
Our house is super dark.
Yeah,
super dark. So when your AC goes out, like, has anyone on the chat had their AC go out? And then I'm curious what the experience is and what they quoted you, because when they start quoting new air conditioners, you're like, oh my God, this is just outrageous to get a replacement. One, I'll answer John Lynn's question. No, I don't have a 2 AC setup. I wish I did. My house is not big, but goddamn, it doesn't cool the right way upstairs. I wish I had it. Although when the AC goes out, you don't want either one of them to go out. So the last time it went out, it wound up being a $500 repair. But I was also quoted $12,000 by another company. Seriously.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Was it Gettle?
Well, I would never say that. It was not Gettle. Yeah, I don't think Gettle was in town at the time. It was a bigger chain, and I cannot remember what it was. But when I saw that, I was like, "You scumbags!" Because then the next guy, because I got two of them. By the way, another thing that's crazy with AC is they come over and they're like, it's $65 to like $100 just to look at it, and they're like, well, if you go with us, then we'll take it off the total bill. So if you want to get multiple estimates,
you have to pay for them.
You're going to pay, one. There's no free estimates, right? So, I don't know. Let me answer this one. Worst company, AC or tow trucks?
Ooh.
Might be closer than you think. Well, the tow trucks are so many times out of your control, and as John and I have talked about before, John, you believe that tow trucks have scams working with apartment complexes, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I got my own car towed from my apartment complex. I can't even remember what the reason was.
Same thing. I had it too. Well, no, you know what? I think in my case, I'm trying to make sure this was me and not someone else who told me a story, but I could swear it was your sticker was in the wrong spot.
For you?
You didn't have a sticker. It was in the wrong spot.
Oh, mine?
No, mine.
Oh, okay.
I think that was mine. I've had so many hellish tow stories told to me, and I've had my car towed from at least 3 different apartment complexes.
Yeah, and like because the thing that really annoyed me about, at least with that, right, is the time that my car got towed from my parking lot, it was in my parking spot. And so at least if you're going to call the tow company to come and get my car, which as an apartment complex, we know you did, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm 99.9% sure one of my neighbors wasn't walking out and going, I think that car's in violation. Let me call them up real quick. You can't tell me that you're going to hey, we got your car towed. No, I have to walk out for work and be like, wait, holy shit, where's my car? And then you go through the rigmarole and you realize, oh, it got towed, and you have to do all that. I 100% think, because that day that I got my car towed, and I think my registration tags had either just expired or my tag had fallen off, so I had to get a duplicate. It was the first day, and the next morning it was gone.
Oh my God. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Some of the answers on this, let's see. Lynn said it had to go out 3 times, twice upstairs, downstairs set up, and once without. What'd you wind up doing, John? What were the repairs, and did you have to get new units? I don't know. Patrick, did you pay $7,000 for a new unit? Because I'm going to need a new unit soon. Mine's like 13 years old. There's some other good ones here. Let's see. I totally agree with this. This is John again. Key is to have a friend that's an AC guy, a plumber. Otherwise, you can get worked over. So here's the deal. I have a plumber, right? Guy I totally rely on. He's great. And I've had lots of plumbing issues in this freaking pile of crap that I live in.
Clogging them up?
Not clogging them up. Well, one, my water pipe did rupture out front, but on my property. And I didn't discover it for like a month and a half. You should have seen the water bills for the month and a half. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, just get a letter. Water company will take the money off. Nope, they wouldn't do it.
Of course.
So I had my plumber guy had to do that. But I've had a lot of they just got leaks and stuff. So it sucks. Oh, boy. Yeah. But yeah, I have a plumber, and now I actually have 2 AC guys. The AC guy that I used a couple times ago, he wasn't available on Sunday morning, and I know someone who does commercial AC. He recommended a local guy. I will tell you, and I have to put this up on Facebook. There's a place called Indoor Comfort Services. Guy Bill runs the place. He came over. This guy was fucking awesome. Totally honest. On a Sunday, went and chased down a part and did it all for a really good price. So having an AC person is freaking, like John was saying earlier, is massive to have connections. You don't know. Those units are so complicated that I think every place would have come over. I had another one of the big places set up an appointment, and their visitation fee was outrageous, but this guy beat him over. I'm almost curious. I would have paid the $100 just to see them quote me like a $10,000 new AC unit.
Yep.
And this guy was like, your compressor motor's broken. He's like, I'll go get it. He's like, you can save $100 by just doing it tomorrow on Monday. And The SO was like, nope, let's pay the extra 100. So it was $400 to have this thing fixed instead of, being quoted $6, $8, $10, $12,000 for a new unit. So thank you.
I will say that
indoor comfort services. I'll put the information up on Twitter or on Facebook.
The advantage, because I live in an apartment, I rent, is that any maintenance is just done. Like,
yep,
I don't have to worry about it. That is the one plus side of living in an apartment complex.
It's the biggest plus. It's one of the biggest plus sides of just renting.
Yep.
Pluses of just renting, because once you buy a place, it's freaking money pit. Good question from Gil the Thrill. I don't know if John can answer this. Working his time in terrestrial, you guys don't get hooked up by the companies that advertise with you.
One time, Gil, I got an endorsement deal for an energy drink. It was like a 5-hour energy drink type deal. And they wanted me to do a read. And it's cool because, I just started. It's cool because every time they run the ad, you get a little bit of change. I think it was like $20 every time they ran the ad. But all I got was 5 of the energy drinks. And that was it.
Well, that's an endorsement deal. We're talking about would you use Gettle or Zero Res, or I'm trying to think of other home services. Who else advertises with us? You guys listen.
The Blinds place?
Sunburst Shutters. Yeah. By the way, I'm probably the only person. Well, I don't want to say that. I find that there aren't enough of our local hosts who actually know who our advertisers are. Like, don't listen to the commercials, but they should. As far as being hooked up, I'm not sure.
Dustin
DeHart, of course. Yeah, but I was talking about services. I actually. Obviously, Dustin did hook me up with the refinance on my house, which was awesome. But we're talking about services, electricians, painters.
You've gotten some free pizza.
I've gotten some free pizza in the past. Sure. What is rhymes with? Who on which one?
If you're talking about the energy drink, I don't know. It was like a really obscure energy drink.
Sometimes they'll hook you up, sometimes they won't. So I don't know. I have a weird thing. I actually feel guilty working connections.
Yeah. I wouldn't ask for anything.
Yeah. So I feel like I owe them,
Yeah, it's not about being it's not about being a good person. And I agree with that. It's about not being in debt. Not having to feel like you need to do something back.
Now, which other hosts have no idea who their sponsors are? You know what? I misspoke there. It's more of the producers. And it's really more Ari. Like, I like Ari, but he's so intense during the show, and he does mention Busy Boots, which is a mechanic in a couple locations. One's right near us at Flamingo and Durango. But if I quiz Ari on what just played in the commercial break, he has no idea. And we know Adam's in law. You've seen Adam, John, during breaks. Do you think Adam's listening to any of the programming or knows any of the commercials that are playing?
The jingles, of course, but other than that, no.
I'm not even sure he knows the jingles.
Some of those jingles are hard not to know.
Gavish for sure is a classic. We love. Wait. I'm just blanking on it. There's been an attorney who's been great recently, and we love Justin Watkins. He's our guy. But who's good?
Oh, I was going to say a Las Vegas classic is Michael E. Minden.
Yes.
Michael E. Minden, Diamond Jewelers. Celebrate. Right. My favorite commercial is the 60-second one.
Brady, because Ari and Brady have this rivalry. Ari, I don't want to do it on the air because it'll make the advertisers look bad, or make Ari look bad. But I guarantee you, Ari, if I quiz you randomly in a break for the next 5 days or next 3 shows, I can get you every break on some commercial that just played, and you might know that they advertise with us, you might not. Well, I won't go there. I was going to say something else that was damning, but I'm not doing a rhymes with.
Sales staff?
I'm not doing a rhymes with. I'm out. All right, quick point to close the show, okay? Quick point from JVT. All right, John, I want you to lay your NBA take on people that you saw with the totals. Basketball is going to start up here, we hope. If, we just had was it? I can't keep the numbers straight. It was 15 of 250 in hockey had coronavirus. That number's total of 26 now. I think the NBA last week was 16 of 302. So as long as the numbers, don't go crazy, we're going to have an NBA season. So those 8 regular season games, that mini slate is all set. Have you noticed some trends? And by the way, are you going to go against a trend? I didn't get the follow-up today on this trend you mentioned, or at least the angle of the sportsbook directors that they're taking on what totals.
Yeah, so to lay this out, I noticed that the first 3 days of seeding games have been posted with lines. And so I was going through some of the sides, and you get a really good sense when you look at the spreads, by the way, of because this is on a neutral, the true sense of how the market views some of these teams. Like these are going to be as close to as numbers and how this market rates teams because they're playing on a neutral, right? But anyway, so I was going through some of the totals, and I thought it was really interesting because my initial thought was, okay, they're playing in Orlando, no crowd, defense should be ahead. There's going to be an adjustment with some of these totals. And I wanted to see what the adjustment was going to be. And so I first used Bucks and Celtics because it was the game at the top of the board that I was looking at that moment. So Bucks and Celtics opened up at 217.5, right? These are for the seeding games in Orlando at the end of this month, or at the end of next month, I should say. But in 3 regular season matchups, the average closing total between those two teams was 225.75. So you're talking about a difference of 8.2 points between the, again, regular season average closing total between those between those two teams in 3 matchups and what the total is in Orlando. So essentially, the bookmakers are telling you that they think the scoring is going to be pretty low. So I thought, okay, that's only one game. So I went through the rest of them. Rockets and Mavericks, 2 regular season matchups, 233.5 your regular season average. Rockets Mavs total opened up at the Westgate, 225.5, a difference of 8 points. Pelicans Clippers, 226.5, the opening total for Orlando in their regular season matchups. Regular season average 233.8, a difference of 7.3 points. Clippers Lakers was the other extreme one. Opening total of 218.5 on opening night in Orlando. The regular season average closing total in their 3 games was 224.6, a difference of 6.1 points. So those are really big differences in terms of the totals. So if you're thinking about betting these under, again, I always say it, Steve, if you know it, they clearly know it, and they've adjusted a lot of these numbers for it. And so maybe there's not as much value in betting unders as you would think early on when it comes to Orlando, especially a game like the Bucks Celtics. I'm really tempted to play over just because that's an extreme difference with no real difference other than the venue.
So what are you going to do?
I think Bucks Celtics is the only one I'll play over. The others, I'm not entirely sure. And I'll be upfront too. I'm not a great totals better, period. So I thought this was interesting to see and what the adjustment would be. But I think my initial thought is extremes like Bucks Celtics, especially a team like Rockets Mavs, where the Mavericks have the best overall offensive efficiency in the NBA in the regular season. Again, they haven't played for a while, so you have to account that in your handicap. But the Rockets, by all means, have not been good defensively, especially since they went small. And so that's a matchup where you could see maybe getting a little bit more up and down the floor and maybe some scoring happening. And the fact that that's 8 points lower than a regular season average that we saw in regular season matchups earlier this year, I think that's a situation worth playing over. So maybe Bucks Celtics and Rockets Mavericks playing those over. And that was the 2 thoughts that I had for the most part.
Nice. Already a look at the NBA. How much are you? I finally melted down this weekend about no sports.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because one, I love football. I love talking football. I love college football. I love being miserable when the Jets go 6-10. But it also, the second wave of shutdowns.
Yeah.
Now it's getting scary, and now I'm starting to think about what we do. If they dump football, and I don't want to get on the soapbox, but if you fuckheads don't start wearing masks, seriously. And I love what Desiree Reed-Francois is doing. She's not calling people fuckheads, but
right.
She's got her campaign that's actually being picked up by a lot of schools around the conference.
What is it? Face masks for fall sports?
That's what it is. Yeah. Hashtag face masks for fall sports with the number 4. Reality's here, folks. If this continues to explode for the next 5 or 6 weeks, football's done. Football's done. So all this bullshit about, not being able to breathe or being a conformist or it's fake or masks don't work. Do you want football or not? Because if it doesn't get reined in, we're screwed. We are.
I would agree. I like to think that a majority of people are taking it seriously. In my experience over the weekend, when I went out, I didn't see a single person not wearing a mask. I didn't see a single person resisting wearing a mask. I will say there was one guy, the Chevron up on Trop and Fort Apache. I walked in and all I heard was, "Life is unfair sometimes. My whole family's dead. What are you going to do?" And then he walked out, and then the lady was telling me, I could barely hear through the plexiglass and her mask, but
Yeah.
something about she almost went to jail because that guy was being annoying, and something about, again, like the mask and how she had to tell him to go get one on. So
dumb.
But I think it's a minority. I feel like it's a minority. I'm hoping it's a minority.
Well, there was a lot of social media over the weekend, and from a lot of people who were anti-maskers, who were jumping on board. So I don't know. Maybe let it help. By the way, I was testing the Twitch system. The chat.
Say what's going on?
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with another name, and I'm just going to start chatting with us. Just have like a fake chat character. I'm kidding. Yeah, that's the Twitter. That's the Twitch page. So I'm kidding, Ari. You're not one of the worst producers in all sports radio, and I have no knowledge that Adam Hill already has the squirts in Mexico. So, wait, did this happen today? Is this real? Pence was wearing a mask.
Oh, nice. I didn't see that. I mean, how can you deny it at this point, man? Serious. And like, I don't know the general, like the actual statistic, but isn't it something like if we had all like bought into masks, this thing would be done in like a month?
Well, I mean, it's whether you believe they work or not. I don't know the results around the rest of the world. Something's worked because they've pretty much all gone down, except for Mexico and Brazil. But Europe, I mean, Spain and especially Italy were terrible, and they've improved a whole lot. One last sad note, John. I keep saying one last, but this is it. How sad are you about this? Like, I wonder what the new guy or gal is going to sound like doing this voice. We've now got voice cancellations. This is very depressing. Very depressing.
Which one?
Oh, it's loading up. It's taking forever.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta hear this new Eddie Murphy cassette I bought.
Hey, did you ever have a barbecue?
I have.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I know Cleveland. I don't know.
Let me just explain. If anyone was listening today, we did a setup with voice cancellation. So whites who are doing African American black voices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jenny Slate, Kristen Bell, and Cleveland, right? So I pulled that Cleveland bite. I mean, our vast sound crew, and it had Cleveland clearly pitching to Eddie Murphy, and back to Cleveland, right? Ari pulls Jenny Slate's character and Kristen Bell's character. I don't know what shows they're on, and I don't know what the characters are or the voices. He plays it, and each bite has two different voices. And I'm like, which one is Jenny Slate? Which one is Kristen Bell? And by the second one, he just looked at me. He's like, oh, no. Like, yeah. Just feature the one fucking voice.
I don't know who Kristen Bell plays. I didn't know that she played a minority character, but I do know that
I still don't. I have to go look it up myself and pull the sound. The vast sound crew has to pull it.
The Slate plays the in the Netflix show. She talks like this. It's actually a pretty funny character. But like, it's funny. Like, I don't like people are getting really mad about this. Like, who? Like, I kind of get it. Like, but at the same time, like, they're voice actors on a TV show. If they want to do this, let them do this. Why are you mad about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's taking jobs away from people who could do the voices, and I don't.
Right, but by the way, you're taking jobs away from people we know are already wealthy, like Slate, Bell. Like, they're really well known in their circles. Like, they do pretty good. Oh, Hank Azaria, right? Apu and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with Apu. Do we have an update yet?
Oh, I think that's been done, isn't it? I think he already. I'll have to look that up. I think that's obviously an old topic.
Yeah, Ari says Kristen Bell is Molly, a mixed race character on Central Park, except that you play two voices. Here's Ari's excuse for playing two voices when we're trying to focus on one voice, the Jenny Slate voice and the Kristen Bell voice. He just says it's obvious. There's a setup question before the voice. Okay, well, I don't. How is that obvious? It's two voices going back and forth.
No, it's not obvious.
Yeah.
By the way, Hank Azaria in January of this year actually announced that he was not going to voice Apu anymore.
Okay. Well, I hope it works out. I hope the next Apu has been as good or will be as good.
Yeah.
Cleveland Brown's a hell of a voice.
Yes, and I should also point out too that I think was Gil already. Cancel culture is the worst. It's not cancel culture though. These actors willingly step down from their roles. So,
well, they got pressured.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you. Well, I promised stuff that we're going to do tomorrow, and we never got to it. One of the things I am going to run by. We'll see what Pritch thinks of it. Did you see that Lena Dunham was shamed yesterday, basically into admitting that she has white privilege, that she got most of her opportunities in Hollywood because of who she is.
Mhm.
Think about this for the next day or so. When does the sports world use the Lena Dunham example? Essentially, Lena Dunham went in and pitched girls with like no pitch. There was like nothing there. And they're like, okay, well, we know you. You're connected. So here you go. Here's an opportunity. When will the sports world apply Lena Dunham and her easy path into Hollywood to nepotism in sports broadcasting? Hello.
Oh, I thought you were going to go coach.
In sports broadcasting?
Yeah, that's a good one.
How many sons?
Of course.
Right?
Just like anything, but yes, in sports broadcasting, it is rampant.
Play-by-play guys. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
there are people toiling all around the country, especially, African Americans, Latinos, and others, women, right? And instead, someone's son gets, this gig at 24 years old. Like, all the hard work I put in at, Syracuse or Fordham, or I'm trying to think, Northwestern, or okay.
Look for Diego to have his own show on my network in about 15, 20 years.
Well, you'll be like Simmons. You'll be like, sorry. Right. This isn't open mic night. It's a business. All right, Diego. Here, my son's 12. You can see he has the pipes. Give him a shot. Yeah. Daddy and Diego on Lotus Broadcasting.
I will say this, and this kind of, I know we're almost done, but it's because we saw this a little bit, the pushback on nepotism when Shanahan made it to the Super Bowl. It's like, see, it was the right hire. That doesn't make it not nepotism. I don't know if that made sense. But you know what I mean? Like with Joe Buck, like I actually think Joe Buck's a halfway decent announcer. People get mad at him for whatever reason, whatever. But like he's not the worst, okay? No, but that doesn't make it not nepotism.
His path was easier.
Right. And people seem to like get that confused. Like because the person is good makes it not nepotism. No, that's not how that works.
No, not at all. Just like actors and, producers, directors, they're talented people, obviously, but mommy and daddy giving them a leg up, that is privilege. That does give them an advantage over lots of people who have to go, down the harder path. All right, John, good job. Tomorrow, if all holds together, Ryan McKinnell will be on. And I think of all the company members, that the two who rub each other, the wrong way the most are McKinnell and who do you think?
Me?
No.
Oh, Adam.
Which
Candy.
Adam?
Candy.
So Candy and McKinnell tomorrow.
Good.
That should be good. I will definitely bring up the 40-time race that was supposed to go down. Both are a little bit on edge right now, so tomorrow should be very good.
I made Ryan really mad one time in our group chat. So,
we'll work on a pairing and we'll have to readdress that one. I'm sure he forgot about it, but we haven't because I keep all the chats. All right, everybody, that was awesome. Thank you for staying on so long, John. Appreciate it. And again, spread the word to all your friends and family if they have different places they like to watch these streams. We're now at Steve Cofield on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, at Steve Cofield on Twitter, and we're looking to add each and every week. Excellent job, everybody, in the chat room. There's a good line about the carries. We'll see you tomorrow night, and before that, we'll see you at 3 o'clock on Cofield.